say a great big hello.
Hi.
Hi.
So, everyone, welcome to this edition of the Geek Battle here on Extreme Improv XStreamed. Live long and prosper, nanu, and all that stuff. So, as always, we are going to start off with an introduction and a geek fact. And on the show tonight, we have Marty. Say hello to the people and tell everyone a geek fact.
Hi, I'm Marty. I'm from Seattle, Washington, and I always forget about this part. I don't know why. I just have this brain fart about the geek facts. I think I've shared this one before, but I'll just, since it's the one that popped up into my head. Black Panther in the comics, his original name was Cole Tiger, and he had a different costume.
His name was what, Tiger?
Cole, C-O-A-L, Tiger.
Wow, amazing. Okay, that's a cool fact. Okay, Andrew, say hello to the people.
Hello, everyone. I don't have any geek trivia off the top of my head. I saw the Suicide Squad earlier.
Oh, no spoilers. We are not past the statute of limitations of spoilers on that one.
It's very good, apart from the middle is a bit.
The middle doesn't matter. As long as you have a good intro and a good ending.
The first half hour and the third half.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So, also today we are joined by Tim. Say hello to the people.
Hey everybody, how you doing? I'm Tim. Growing up, I always wanted to be a superhero, like many kids always want to be a superhero. So it led me to a path where, for a short while, I owned a comic book store, and while owning the comic book store, I found out that it's possible to be a superhero because in Marvel Earth 1218, that's actually our Earth in their multiverse. So we exist within the Marvel universe.
Yeah, okay. I'm just going to say now, Tim, you've already won this show. You've got this.
Yeah.
You owned look, your background. You came prepared. You owned a comic book shop. You're talking in Marvel, whichever edition of a comic, and you know which universe we're in. You've definitely won this show already. So our Geek of the Week will be Tim, unless there's some absolute technical fault. But yeah, Tim, you've got this one hands down.
I don't know about that.
Right, so with this though, we are going to get on to our first round, and we often start with like a little bit of a discussion, debate round or something here. And speaking of different Earths and parallel dimensions, that actually plays very nicely into the idea of a theme that I'd got for this one. And this one is a round which I'm calling Just Add Zombies. Just Add Zombies. And the idea here, like how we had Pride and Prejudice and zombies, and I've given this example a bunch of times before. If you watch the film Predator and you see like the first 30 minutes of it, you just think it was like Rambo, and then suddenly it's gate crashed by an alien. So the question I've got for you, if you were to take a pre-existing film and midway through gate crash it with something comic booky, sci-fi, something geeky, what would it be? And let's see if we can come up with the best one to be gate crashed by aliens, zombies, superheroes, or whatever you want. If you have any ideas, then feel free to give a wave and suggest it. Any ideas, anyone on that?
Well, let's just see what happens. So I really love the American Pie movies. In my 20s, they were brilliant. They had a lot of funny moments. During that time, it was like, that was like one of the movies, right? So now, if maybe like American Wedding, and I love the idea of zombies coming through, about halfway through that, and then you get to see these guys actually pick up weapons, Walking Dead style, and try to save the wedding. Nothing more than just the wedding, though. So they're not going outside of their areas. They're just fighting, so that way they can get married. And I think that would be an interesting movie. I'm not sure. Maybe we could even do a prequel where zombies at band camp. either way.
Well, there we go. Do you know what? That's a super interesting idea. It almost feels plausible that with that series of films, they would have just said, to hell with it, and at a certain point, it's just like, now there are zombies in this. And it would have been the point where, like, people that liked the early films would either be, this is amazing, or they'd be, they've absolutely flipped their lids. But, similar to that, and I suppose along this same theme, it never got made. But there was the talk of doing, like, 21 Jump Street, 22 Jump Street, and then the third one turning out that they joined the Men in Black. So that's what. But then they never went ahead, they never took it any further than that, and then they ended up doing Men in Black 4, like Men in Black International. Okay, Marty, Andrew, do you have any theories on this question? What film would you have gate crashed by something from the geek world?
I heard a rumor. This is not me. I heard a rumor years back, and I really had hoped it would come to fruition, that they were going to do another Pride and Prejudice mashup called Pride and Predator.
That's amazing. That is cool.
But then it never surfaced, and I was very disappointed because, and I never saw Pride and Prejudice and Zombies because I heard it wasn't very good, but Pride and Predator I would have had to have watched because it sounds amazing. And just, there's another movie that already exists that's kind of like this, Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah, true.
The first half is like this crime, bank robbers, heist, and then at the end it's vampires.
Yeah.
Gate crash vampires. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Andrew, do you have something for us here?
I thought it'd be interesting to, like halfway through the Breakfast Club, actually come of age story.
Yeah.
They're in a school detention, and then there's a virus or zombie outbreak of some kind. And then the second half of the movie is them in this school with zombies or creatures of some kind.
Okay, yeah.
I think that would be a good idea.
So it almost sounds like it. Do you remember the movie The Faculty? Anyone remember that?
Yeah.
Sounds like it would be going into that territory. So it would just be that they're just ordinary kids, and then just suddenly there's some dark secret at the school. Love it. Okay, if I have to come up with a nominee myself, gosh, I think, just imagine, like, if you're at the cinema and you're watching, like, Gone with the Wind, just something like they're making a new Gone with the Wind, and then just midway through it, like, an electricity bubble turns up, like the Terminator. And it's just like, it could happen, because that, like, in the future, like before the Terminators, like, the world was normal. And it's just that it happened to go back to, like, the mid-80s. But it wonders if it just went back to, like, any time in the past. So it could be, like, Gone with the Wind, and just suddenly, in the background, you just, like, suddenly see, like, a lightning storm, and then, like, a bubble, and Arnie stands up. I just think that would be absolutely brilliant. Just, like, in a remake. Just, like, a complete mashup. They don't tell anyone they're doing it. Yeah, Andrew?
I was going to say, what if halfway through Gone with the Wind, an actual tornado showed up? Like Gone with the Wind, then suddenly turns into Twister.
Yeah, no, that would be a twist. That would be a twist. Okay, let's see if we can come to... Go on, Marty.
Well, that just made me think of, I don't know if you've ever seen it, but there was an old comedy show called In Living Color, and they did a mashup where the Terminator went back and tried to save Jesus from being crucified. And it is hysterical.
Do you know what? Like, literally, maybe this, like, was in the back... Not that specifically, but you've just actually reminded me of something else. There's a British sketch show from, like, the 1990s, maybe even the late 1980s, called Harry Enfield and Chums. And I like, Andrew, I should imagine you'll, like, remember Harry Enfield. But I don't know if I can think of anything that Harry Enfield has done that's like would have taken it to stateside. But in an episode of Harry Enfield and Chums, they had a sketch which was Terminator 3, which was basically the Terminator going back in time to kill John Connor's great grandfather, and it did actually look a bit Pride and Prejudice-y, and literally it's just come back to me now we talk about it. And it's only about like a 5, 6, 7 minute sketch, but it's super funny just because it's got like it's like, I need your clothes, your boots, and your puffy pants, or stuff like this, where it's just like, and then like someone gets killed, and like the lord or the duke or whatever, it's like, not on the carpet, and stuff like this, like, because there's blood. Marty.
I just thought of something that I mean, because there was a movie made, but it was really not very good, and so it wasn't very satisfying. But it just occurred to me, we need a good Western where aliens come. You know, we had Cowboys and Aliens, but it just wasn't very good.
Yeah. Okay,
Let's
Tim?
do, like, Tombstone.
Yeah, you know, that'd be great. That'd be great. Tombstone versus Predator. Yeah, Tim?
Yeah.
Okay, so I love that idea, Marty. Anything Western makes me happy. I mean, you could even do like it would be really cool to have Clint Eastwood in that movie, though. Even though I'm not a fan of him, I like him in Westerns. But I was thinking maybe like a take on that, but with Free Willy. So after, like, it's kind of like an E.T. idea, right? Where Willie isn't actually just a whale, but he's a space whale. So then he's captured, mistreated, and then freed. But even though he forgives humanity because he found a glimmer of hope in his family, the hierarchy of the space whales decided that the invasion on Earth is imminent. So here come the whales. I don't know. I like that.
Yeah, no, I like it. Okay, one more has come to my mind. And what was it? Okay, so imagine Taken, but Liam Neeson's daughter is taken by aliens.
Oh.
Yeah, you know, and it like literally he's on the phone. It's like, you know, I have a very particular set of skills, and he's like, you know, just like speaking onto like the big like screen, and there's like this alien from like Independence Day. Marty?
Yeah, this idea that I had years ago just popped back into my head. I don't know if you know the movie The Searchers. It's a Western with John Wayne, where the John Wayne's brother's family is attacked by Indians, and they kill everyone except for the youngest daughter, and they take her, and she lives with the Native Americans until she's like 10 when they take her, and then she's like 20 or so when he just goes out and looking for her. I thought it would be fun to make a movie like that nowadays, where the family was attacked and killed by vampires, and the uncle goes on a quest for vengeance, looking for the girl, looking for the vampires that took his niece.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, so let's see if we can come to a consensus before we move on. Out of the different ideas that we have pitched, which one either do we think we'd still most like to see? It might just be that you're enamored with your own idea, or it might be that someone else has said something that's piqued your interest, or you know, let's see if we can come to any sort of idea. What one are we leaning towards here? Anyone? Okay, let's put it like this. If it wasn't your own, which would you lean towards? Marty?
I'm going to go with Tim's idea about the space whales, because I think that's a really cool idea, and I have a title for the movie. It's called Quailian.
But isn't a quail a bird?
No, Quailian.
Oh, sorry. Okay, hang on. This is, I know it's an accent thing, but we're in the territory of Family Guy with the cool whip thing, because it definitely had a quiver, cool whip. Right,
Quailian
okay.
is a different altogether.
Okay, my bad. Andrew, what would you say?
Yeah, I'd have to go with the whale one, the whale idea.
Yeah, Tim, how about you?
I like anything Terminator. So going back in time to like the Pride and Prejudice time, I think would be amazing, because we can almost understand it in our time period, but it would be so fantastical for, you know, just be really cool to watch.
Yeah.
Especially
Okay.
good reactions.
Yep, okay, but it looks like I'm not going to argue with the whales. It sounds very cool. So, Tim, I'm going to say you get a point for coming up with that award-winning idea there. So, guys, we're not doing well already. The comic book store owner is taking the lead. But with this, we are going to come on to our... Oh, hang on, we've got some comments, mostly from Capel Fave. But it says, Marty should try Red Dead Redemption. It's a video game.
Yeah.
You know, so...
I don't play video games, so
Okay.
I'm aware of it.
The anime Berserk is like that. It starts off as knights and wars, but then vampires, demons, etc. Do you know what, Tim, whilst you're here, just like, because I forget the name of it, and you may know this, I know how I could find it. There is a comic book, which I think I've only read a translation of. I think it's perhaps originally Japanese, where there are like robot fish that take over the world. Do you have any idea what this is? I will try and find it.
Now I'm curious.
Yeah, okay. Right, moving on. We are going to go on to our next round. And our next round, everyone think of a category of something, and we will go round the horn. If we quickly give ourselves numbers, Marty 1, Tim 3, Andrew 4, I will be number 2. And what we'll have to do is name things from a category until someone can't think of something from the category, or says something that's already been said, or said something that doesn't belong in the category, etc. And you'll have just a very quick 5 seconds to come up with naming something. So, Marty, you will be in the number 1 position on the screen. I'll rename people if you can't, but let's just rename it so we remember. So it helps our audience and also helps me remember. And then Tim, number 3. Boom, there you go. Okay, so, Marty, what category would you like to start us off with?
Well, since it's on my brain, let's just go with vampire movies.
Vampire, okay. So we'll go around until we run out. We can fact check each other. But Marty, go for it.
Dracula.
Nosferatu.
The Vampire in Brooklyn.
Near Dark.
Dracula versus the Wolfman.
Shadow of the Vampire.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Dracula Untold.
Dusk Till Dawn.
Dusk Till Dawn 2.
Batman versus Dracula, the animated movie.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. Looking at mashups.
The Lost Boys.
You're just going to cue them up for me. The Lost Boys 2.
I know.
Come on.
Underworld?
Yeah?
Twilight. Now we're going to go through.
Underworld. Underworld Rise of the Lycans.
Twilight Breaking Dawn.
I'm out.
Oh, with that, Tim, you're out. So, Tim, you get 1 point there, but we will continue on. So I will choose the next round. And the round I am going to choose is going to be... okay, movie prequels. Movie prequels. So something that would be deemed to be a prequel to, like, a pre-existing film. And I will start off with Star Wars Episode 1, Phantom Menace. Andrew, you go next.
Oh my god. Black Widow.
Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones.
Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith.
Underworld Rise of the Lycans.
Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
The Hobbit, Unexpected Journey.
The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug.
The Hobbit, There and Back Again.
That's not what it's called.
Oh, it's not?
No, it's
Then
not what
I'm
it's
out.
called. Oh, you're out. They renamed it to the Battle of Five Armies.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I don't, those movies suck anyway.
Okay, Andrew, you get to choose the final category, but Marty, you get 2 points there.
Do I get to
Oh,
go
hang-
again?
No, not yet. Okay, come. We will eliminate until there is just one, and then we'll come back. Okay, Andrew.
Film composers.
Oh, what? Oh, I don't know any. Okay, you win.
don't
Go
know
for it. Go for it.
Danny Elfman.
John Williams.
Hans Zimmer.
Oh, that's my other one. John Carpenter.
Junkie XL.
Ah, you win, Andrew. Okay, well done, Andrew. Everyone come back. So I get 3 points. Andrew, you rocket ahead with 4. So everyone come back. We are going to go on to our next round. And our next round is going to be a quickfire round where we are going to do some impressions. We're going to do some impressions. I will paste into the Zoom chat a group of characters, and then you'll have 1 minute to do as many impressions as you can that others can guess. For every one that someone guesses, they get a point, and the person doing the impression gets a point as well. And so, let's roll the dice.
How do we buzz in?
Sorry?
How do you want us to answer? Just yell out the answer or buzz?
Oh,
or?
buzz. Like, yeah, either like make it wave, make a noise, buzz, like that. Also, if you are doing it, tell people if they've got it correct or not. So be like correct or wrong, or because that way you can keep going. Because that way I can play as well, basically. So, we've lost Marty. Let's roll the dice to see who was going first, by the way. And we will. Oh, it's me. Okay, I will go first. Do you know what? I think this is the very first time I've had to go first on this game. So that's fun. So let's find some characters. And let's paste it in here just so I can read them while seeing you guys. Okay. And Marty, are you with us? Don't know if Marty's having a technical glitch, just so that he still gets a fair crack at this. I will take this opportunity to remind our fabulous audience that if you haven't done so, please smash the subscribe button on youtube.com/extreme improv. Also, this is in its formative stages, but there is a group on Facebook called Geek Battle. So join that. The more people that join it, we can have some geek chats off there. That's also a useful place to help arrange these shows. And there is also Geek Battle X on Twitter, because someone else has got the name Geek Battle already, unfortunately. And there might be Geek Battle on Instagram, I can't remember. But check it out. Marty is coming back. So Marty was taken. Liam Neeson has rescued him. And let's see if he comes back. Will he be back? Will he be back? Will he be back? Just whilst we're waiting for Marty to come back. There he is! Okay, so Marty, I have the first round of impressions. Get ready to buzz in, and also try to keep track of how many you've got, just because it will slow things down if I'm giving points during my round.
Okay. Sorry about that.
It's cool. And here I go. Ah, pity the fool!
Buzz.
Tim.
Mr. T.
Incorrect.
W.A. Maracus.
Okay, I'll allow it. Okay. Okay, so, listen to me. I work with children.
Buzz.
Tim.
Professor X.
Oh no, I work with children. Stay back, dark side. Okay, and yeah, Tim.
Granny Goodness.
Oh no! So I'm gonna defeat you. Batman, come and help me, and the fellow members of my Justice League. I'm trying to do my best Israeli accent, and it's not good. Tim.
Never mind.
Buzz.
Marty.
Gal Gadot.
No, I'm Wonder Woman. God damn it! Right, I'm moving on. So, right. Anyway, next up, So the puny humans on Earth will never win. Ha 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 ha.
Buzz.
Tim.
Thanos.
No, isn't that right, Kodos? Andrew.
Kang?
Yes, I'm Kang. Okay, let's do something more. So, okay, on that note,
Buzz.
Tim.
Thanos.
Yes. Okay. Okay, say my name 3 times.
Buzz.
Tim.
Buzz.
Tim got it. Okay, I've got time for one more. No, I don't. That's time. That is time. That is time. Right, okay, so... Goddamn, my Wonder Woman impression wasn't great. I'll give it that much. So, how many did you guys get? Put your hands...
Does it work with children?
What? Yeah, no, there is a line. There is a line in Justice League where, like, Aquaman and Batman, they're being, like, laddish, and she's like, children, I work with children. It's the only line I could think of. Right, so... anyway, Andrew, you get 1 point. Tim, how many did you get right?
I think I had 3 or 4. I'm not sure. I lost count right now.
Okay, well, I will give you 4 because that means that I get 4 points. So, with that, Marty, did you get any?
No.
Okay. So, with this, I will roll the dice again, see who goes next. And, oh, it's me again. How weird. Right, okay, so this time, Marty. Let's find some characters for you. Okay, Marty, I'm going to send some characters over to you now. Make sure it goes to you and not to everyone. So, Marty, you've now got your characters, and your time starts now.
Ooh, I want the process.
Andrew, I think, was first.
Gollum?
Oh, I'm gonna hurt my brother Dougal.
Jar Jar Binks? I don't know.
No.
Oh, Smeagol.
Yes. Oh, God damn it! I hate that I have a metal arm now.
Buzz.
Tim.
Yeah.
Winter Soldier.
Yeah, but what's my name?
James Buchanan Barnes. Bucky.
Yes. I'm the villain in one of the villains in the Back to the Future movies, but I can't remember which one.
Oh, Griff?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, my children. Please follow me until I am crucified.
Buzz.
Tim?
Yes.
Jesus.
Yes. Oh, I'm a little girl, but I will grow up and become a badass and kill all these people in this fantasy world. And I will be friends with a tiny little person named Peter Dinklage.
Peter Dinklage. Khaleesi?
No.
I don't know.
I was a cute little girl with big old eyes, but now I grew up and I'm a badass.
That's time. That is time. Who was it?
Oh, it was Arya Stark.
Okay. Not a clue. Let's roll the dice again. See who's going next. And it
You
will
watch
be.
Game of Thrones?
I saw the.
Never.
I've seen some of the first series. I didn't get into it, but I intend to get into it at some point. But then by the time like season 8 came out, everyone hated it, and at some point I will. Right. Okay. So let's find some characters for Andrew. Okay. So Andrew, I'm copying some characters across to you now, and hopefully they should pop up. And here you go.
I run really fast. I can turn back
Tim.
time.
Flash.
Yes.
The Joker? Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Doctor Who's box thing.
Buzz.
Tim.
The TARDIS.
Yeah. I think she's Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I think
Tim?
Sarah
Witch.
Michelle Gellar?
The witch.
Tara?
No, the other one.
Marty?
Willow.
Yeah. Blind superhero.
Buzz. Who you saying got it, Andrew?
David.
Okay, Daredevil.
Yes. I think these others are. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles villain.
Buzz?
Buzz.
Oh. Tim was first.
Yeah.
Shredder?
No, number one.
Buzz?
David.
Krang?
No. Anyone?
Go on, Marty?
Rocksteady.
Oh no, sorry. Sorry, I've got that completely wrong.
That is time. Who was it then, Andrew?
Splinter?
Splinter? He's not the villain. He's their mentor.
No.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I don't need to roll the dice, in fact. Tim, you'll go next. Okay, let's get some characters across here. Actually scroll up because I don't want to copy the same ones I already had. Okay, let's see. Okay, so Tim, here's your characters and your time starts now. Alfred
Buzz.
Hitchcock. I'm joking.
Marty.
Darth Vader.
Yeah, I'm in love with Dick Grayson. I belong to the Teen Titans with him.
Buzz.
Yeah.
Marty.
Starfire or
Yeah.
Princess Korean.
You got that. Let's go with, you wouldn't like me when I'm mad.
Oh, Buzz.
Buzz.
That would be David.
Bruce Banner.
Yes, that is Bruce Banner. I live in a dystopian future where I am a police officer, but I also make the final decision on your existence, too.
Buzz?
Marty.
Judge Dredd.
Yeah. And your little dog, too.
Buzz.
Marty.
The Wicked Witch of the West.
Yep. Let's see. I'm a Doctor Who character. I'm a bad guy, and there's a bunch of us.
Buzz. Dalek.
Yeah. Let's see here. God. Oh my God. Okay. I was in Star Trek Enterprise. I was the logical person. I was brought in by the Vulcans to assist Scott Back. Yeah, Dave.
Buzz.
T'Pol.
You got that. Yeah. I was in the Harry Potter movies. I don't know really much about these movies. It's sad, but my first name sounds like a giant lizard. One that would hoard gold.
Buzz.
Go on, Marty.
Marty.
Draco Malfoy.
Yeah.
Okay, and that is time. Okay, so fantastic stuff there. We are going to go on to our next round, and for our next round, let's just check the time, just because of we still got ages. Okay, so we're going to come on to our second discussion round of this show, because there's only 4 of us today, so we're rattling through things a bit more. Okay, so here's the topic to think about, and we can input some thoughts on this. What are your personal unpopular opinions that you hold about something within like the geek world, within like geek fans and all this? What's something that's the unpopular opinion, which is your opinion that you have? Something where perhaps you disagree with lots of other people in the fan base. What is anyone's thoughts? Anyone on this? Tim?
Yeah, it is definitely an unpopular opinion, but everyone that thinks this is completely off. I'm sorry, even with preparation time, Batman could not beat everyone in the DC universe. People are so so agreeable on this online. It's like, well, with preparation, he can be Superman. He can do, yeah, he could, but it's because of the character. It's the characteristics and personalities of the other characters. If they were like, if they're standing next to each other, and Batman's like, yeah, in a week I'm going to take you out. Superman's like, well, my heat vision will burn a hole right through your head right now. So it's like, you're not beating Flash because you can beat him, but he'll just run back in time and change that. It's just like I can't see it happening.
No, I agree with that. Like, I have heard where people have said that, like, Batman... Well, even I think, was it Marty, was this you last week said about, like, that he's the great detective? Perhaps we should defer to you here. Do you think, what's your opinion? Do you think Batman could defeat everyone with preparation time?
Well, I think what it is that he has a contingency plan to defeat any and every person if they were to turn bad. Whether he would be successful or not, I have no idea.
Like, you just have to think that, like, what would his contingency plan be against the Flash? Because what is it that the Flash couldn't see coming? Like, the only thing I could think where he could defeat the Flash... Do any of you remember the Nicolas Cage movie Next, where he can see 2 minutes into the future? Anyone remember that film?
I think
I watched it, but I don't remember it.
Okay, so there's...
Well, it wasn't very good.
It's all right. I like the concept of it, though. I love the idea that you can see 2 minutes into your own future, and the way people try to capture him without giving major spoilers to it is by knowing that he exists, if they can get him into a scenario where even with 2 minutes he wouldn't be able to escape them, they'd be like, so even if he could see into 2 minutes, it's too late, he's trapped by them. However, that would be, for me, the only way Batman could do something against the Flash, because the Flash would just be able to respond. Same with Superman. Any speedster, and literally, like, if you had like a very strong character, again, Superman, Wonder Woman, whoever, like, what would just stop them from grabbing Superman and flying him into space? Like,
right.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen that's how Superman's defeated the Hulk before. All he had to do was fly in space, and the Hulk sooner or later couldn't breathe. I did see a version, I didn't read it, but I read about it. It's called Death Metal, DC Death Metal. And in it, Batman is evil, and it's all about these different versions of Batman from the multiverse. There's like the Batman who laughs, but there's this character called Batman Red Death, where he had threatened Barry he was going to destroy the city, Central City, so he made Barry tap into the Speed Force, and he absorbed it to go back in time to save Thomas and Martha. And we know how well it worked for Barry. That never worked, because he always screwed up the timeline. But there's a Batman character that did defeat him, but he would have to be evil. I don't see it happening if he's a good Batman. But this one, because most superheroes are like, oh, you're going to hurt people? Sure, I'll do what you ask.
Yeah.
So if you ever get a chance, check out Batman Red Death. But,
okay. Okay, anyone else, either opinions on this Batman scenario, or do they have one of your own? Unpopular opinion? No, there's nothing that's an unpopular opinion.
Yeah.
Andrew? Oh, Tim, you got another? No, Andrew first, then Tim.
Andrew's got one.
I'm not sure how much of an unpopular opinion it is. Depends on you. But I've never been a big Zack Snyder fan. I don't quite get.
Here we go again. It's coming out. It's coming out, guys. It's coming out.
I've seen it. It's better than the theatrical version. First of all, the Snyder Cut's like 4 hours long.
Also, Wonder Woman doesn't say I play with children in this one. Just so you know, right? That's a Whedon line.
And also the bit with the flat. Also the overuse of slow motion. There's a bit where the Flash saves what's her face? Iris.
Yeah, Iris
West. For some reason, there's a slow motion bit with a hot dog. What the fuck?
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. So, well, he's going for a job with dogs, and he sees the opportunity to advance his career while saving the woman he's instantly fallen in love with. You know, Andrew, it's just like, wouldn't you?
I just found it the most obnoxious introduction of the Flash in the movie. It's like, what a prick.
Okay.
Like Ezra Miller, I'm looking forward to the solo film,
Whose solo film?
The Flash.
Yeah, that looks very interesting. Like, has anyone been keeping up with any of the rumours about that?
Yeah.
No.
No? Interested in them, Marty? Can we give spoilers? Or not? You know, it's rumours, technically, but...
I'm generally not interested in any of the DC movies because they're all pretty terrible.
Wow.
With a couple of exceptions.
Okay, just on this. Sorry, Tim?
What's the exceptions then?
Yeah.
The first Wonder Woman movie.
Okay.
And I'm hoping that I really like the new James Gunn Suicide Squad. And those might be the only two exceptions. I'm hearing good things about that. That's why I'm saying that.
Right.
Beyond that, I mean, Aquaman was okay for what it was, but I don't think I'll ever watch it again. Yeah, they're pretty terrible.
Wow.
See,
Well,
I don't know.
Are you talking DCEU or DCE in over the what about the Dark Knight trilogy?
What about what?
When you say most DC films,
Yeah.
are you talking about like the DC?
What about The Dark Knight? Damn my green screen.
No, I don't like any of the Christopher Nolan Batman movies at all.
What? Okay. What do you like, Marty?
For the most part, I like all the Marvel movies. There are a couple of exceptions. I mean, I will watch them, but they're not my favorites. I think the second and third Iron Man movies are not very good, compared to the first one. And I think Thor didn't find its way until Ragnarok.
Well, the second one, yeah, everyone knows that, like, the second one was what the second one was, and it may have even been like the writer's strike at the time that like kind of screwed that one over. But I thought Thor 1 was pretty good.
And I'm not saying it was terrible. It was even being one of my least favorite Marvel movies, it's still better than any of the DC movies.
It was more of a love story for the most part, and a little bit of action, because it was mostly him and Jane Foster, and he really wasn't Thor for most of it, or act like Thor,
Yeah.
I should say. As far as DC movies go, I think the Snyder stuff is pretty good. I mean, they have a good idea. Execution hasn't been the greatest, of course, but they're a little too dark. DC.
Yeah, I did like Man of Steel for the most part.
What was that, Andrew?
I did like Man of Steel for the most part. I think that's probably maybe Zack Snyder's best film.
Probably.
No.
I saw Man of Steel at the cinema, and the point where it lost me, like the beginning, I did okay. Two things I didn't like. I didn't like the idea that they were just like babies grown in pods. That was weird. I didn't think they needed to add that. But then when Clark didn't save his dad, didn't save Jonathan Kent, to me didn't make any sense. It didn't make any sense.
Yeah,
When you look at like where he's like, oh, Jonathan Kent has a heart attack, but literally Kevin Costner just being like, no, don't save me, even though you can move quicker than anyone would even be able to perceive you moving. That to me, it was like, it made zero sense whatsoever.
Exactly.
And it lost me there. However, and then the other thing, and this is a thing to like look out for when you rewatch Man of Steel. I don't know if it's because Henry Cavill is English, and maybe they just didn't trust his acting ability, they didn't trust his accent or whatever. Superman, Clark Kent, has hardly any lines in that film, and all of them are just like one sentence, and then Lois Lane has a monologue, then he has one sentence, and then another monologue from other characters. He has very little dialogue in the whole film, which I thought was very peculiar. Tim?
I think that made him way too alien in that movie too, because the thing about Clark Kent that I've always liked is he identifies more as human than Kryptonian.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the powers are just extra, because I mean, how he sees things is very human. That bothered me about that movie. You didn't see more of his humanity till the end when Zod was killing everyone. But yeah, I wasn't sure I liked it. I think it has a lot of potential though. The character does. I'm looking forward to the Val Zod one that they're talking about for HBO Max.
Yeah. Who's involved in that one?
Michael Jai White, is it?
Is it Michael B. Jordan?
Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
who it is.
Okay,
I
I very vaguely saw a headline about this. So yeah.
Wait, what is it going to be?
Tim, if you know a bit more, do you want to fill us in?
Yeah, I only know a little bit. It just I like the multiverse stuff just because people complain less about it because they don't know as much about it. But it's Val Zod, so it's a Zod character, but they're not the evil family in this multiverse. So he's the Superman of that Earth. It's African American character, so we're going to get an African American Superman, which will be really sweet. So, it's always cool to have kids be able to look at heroes and say, "I look like you," so I can identify with you. So I think it sounds great personally, and it won't be taken away from the Clark Kent mythos. So, you can look at it as something standalone. That's all I know about it is that so far. I think it's still really preliminary with that.
Well, again, coming back to speaking about Earth this and Earth that, one of the things which obviously it's like, just like cinematic universes were after Marvel did it 10 years ago, or what have you now, 12 years ago, 13 years, wow. Right, after they did it, and suddenly we had like the Universal Monsters cinematic universe, and we had the DC EU, and whether or not that worked and everything was trying to have an expanded, connected film series. The flavour of the month is absolutely Parallel Dimensions. And it is a race between, obviously now Marvel have won this race. They've got out there first with introducing the multiverse. But obviously the Flash movie, again, the rumours on it and everything we know about it is that it's going to be all like multiverse. I just love the idea that about a year ago I read something where I think it was someone from DC that said basically with the new films, it's going to mean that every film, that everything that we've done counts. Everything is now canon. Every single thing. It's just it's an alternate dimension. So it means that Christopher Reeve was Superman and Henry Cavill's Superman. And I guess Dean Cain was Superman and Brandon Routh is Superman. And even though we already saw that, I suppose, on Supergirl and the rest of the Flash stuff, where they then did have Ezra Miller turn up as the Flash in it just for a scene or what have you. I just like the idea that this new Flash movie, and if there's going to be Val Zod, and if there's going to be multiple Batmen, how we've got Robert Pattinson and Ben Affleck's come back, and okay, so this is we know it's true now that Michael Keaton's coming back, and it's this is insane that they can do all of this. I absolutely love the potential of all this. Andrew?
Yeah. I was going to say, there was one downside to the new Spider-Man movie. Was Alfred Molina, who played Doc Ock in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2, who's credited as confirmed he's in the what's it called, Home and Away, No Way Home.
Home and Away, yeah.
The new Spider-Man.
Yeah, No Way Home.
Yeah. And he was talking him into this interview about having doubts about taking on the role, considering in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2 he died. He expressed those doubts to the director of the new Spider-Man, who I'm assuming is the same director as the previous Tom Holland one. I don't know. And according to Alfred Molina, the director said, in this universe nobody really dies. My main issue with that mentality is then why should I care?
Okay. So what I can put to you there is so we're assuming that people watching this or anything are caught up to at least 2 years ago. So Iron Man dies in the Endgame, and now absolutely Robert Downey. What? Right, but Robert Downey Jr. could come back, or we've seen with variants and all this stuff that they've been playing into the series now, and the idea that Tobey Maguire, and they, it explains away, like with Quicksilver, that they can look different. So however they explain it, whether it's their energy or their essence, it can be like female Loki or crocodile, like any of this other stuff. It can still be the same person. When you look at like alligator Loki, and then you see like Sylvie, and then you see Loki, if Tom Hiddleston dies, and it's like, oh, but Loki's still in it, but it's Sylvie. So even if they then bring Tom Hiddleston back, which is literally, it's not the same one that died in Infinity War, it's like, yeah, he's back, but it's not the same character. It's not the exact same variant, as it were. So I think in that sense, there can still, if they just make the character exactly the same, and they are a little bit of guilty with that with Loki, where the character, they just fast tracked him to be like the Loki that we somewhat had by Thor Ragnarok. But if they change the character, or it's got different experiences, and the example I'll give is Gamora in Endgame. So Gamora got killed, and then Peter Quinn runs up and she like punches him. What spoilers? But so it's like, even though the character comes back, it's I get what you mean, but they can make the character different. Marty?
I was just going to say I have a theory about what. I mean, maybe Marvel has said something, but if they have, I haven't read it. But I have a theory about what's going to happen. I feel like they're introducing Kang, who is a time-traveling villain. I think that this whole multiverse idea is going to be, this next phase of the Marvel movies. We're going to see a bunch of crazy stuff. We're going to see all kinds of weird, crazy. They might even use it to introduce the X-Men. Who knows? But I feel like they're going to let this go for a little while, and then they're going to do some kind of huge event where they fight Kang, and then the timeline will get reduced back down to one. Kind of like they did with Crisis in Infinite Earth over at DC. Because I feel like if they let it go for too long, it's just going to get too confusing. So I think they might lead up to some big event where they destroy, or at least destroy a way to access the other timelines and just get back to one. And whoever's left in that one.
Well, they can absolutely do something like that if they want to have like an absolute reboot. They could do that, or or maybe so it's like, so that we left just with like a few characters, because obviously like Robert Downey Jr., he's 13 years older than when he started, and Thor's that much older and all this sort of stuff. And whilst they're introducing things like Kid Loki and whoever else that's going to be like the Young Avengers, I think that if they like, okay, so in 10 years' time they're going to be the main ones, they could have this event, just leave those as the only ones left. Tim?
Yeah, I don't know. I love the multiverse just because it gives us so many options. But I get what you're saying, Marty. I mean, I remember you saying in a previous show, you're like, I love this. I couldn't believe when I was a kid that this would ever happen. And I love the fact that it's here now. These characters that we grew up with are on the screen. As far as like Kang goes, I like that there's going to be different versions, because I can't see the one that was in Loki being the one who tries to take over the universe. You're going to have to see one that's a little more driven than that guy. What I love about Kang is, like, in every alliteration that I've seen him in, he's either been a relative of Dr. Doom or Reed Richards. So
yeah,
I see this as an opportunity to really get a Fantastic Four. I'm hoping we get a Fantastic Four. I mean, it's Marvel's first family. It's like,
we are going. It's on the schedule. We just don't know anything about it.
I hope it's a good one. I'll say it that way, because they were talking about like John Krasinski and a couple other people. Now they're talking about unknowns. I kind of like the idea of unknowns, unless they go back to the way the previous movie was. Thing with no pants on or whatever. But yeah, I really think this multiverse is going to open up some options. And if it ever does go back to One Earth, I'm hoping it keeps all the good ones there.
Okay. So on this note, look, we've gone into this. We can perhaps come back to the idea of some unpopular opinions again. I won't share mine. I'll share mine very, very briefly, just because we need to move on. So I don't know who here is a Doctor Who fan or who here is particularly familiar with Doctor Who. The thing which I'd say is my unpopular opinion, which I have a little bit about it, is that I think the Doctor sometimes isn't enough of the hero. And I'll give the example of when they brought back the series like 10, 15 years ago now, whenever it was, with Christopher Eccleston as the Doctor. Christopher Eccleston as the Doctor sometimes completely didn't save the day, and if it wasn't for Rose, and it's fine for like his companions to be heroic characters as well, but even in the first episode, like where he came back and there's like the creature, the Nestine consciousness, she had to save him, otherwise literally he was dead. And then when it was that the Daleks are gonna like destroy everything, and it's like, is he gonna destroy all these people just to defeat them? He's like, oh no, I can't. And then Rose turned up and like saved the day. It's like, you shouldn't show that the Doctor absolutely was, you know, given up, like, and was like resigned to I've lost here. And I think that you can make a hero of another character where they help without just making it that like the Doctor, because I'm on Earth, and when I was watching that, I was like, Doctor, you would have just let me die, you know. And so that was the one thing there is that they made the Doctor give up on us and give up on like being the hero a couple of times, and then they've done that like a few too many times like since, in particular with the 12th Doctor, where he was just like this old guy that the companions were running around to save all the time. It's my unpopular opinion. If anyone has anything to add on that, or otherwise we can move on.
I gave up during the Matt Smith years because I didn't like it anymore.
Matt Smith was the best of the Doctors, Marty, so what can I say? Right,
well,
okay.
I knew that you were going to say that.
Okay, Tim?
I did not watch a lot of Doctor Who, but my daughter did. So it was on a lot in the house. That season, because I had watched previous seasons walking through the room while she was watching it, but he didn't seem like he had like very much drive to do a whole lot. I mean, he really fit the old man kind of character, and it almost seemed like he just didn't care. And it's just from very little experience watching it, I could be completely off with that. I didn't watch the newer season with the female Doctor. We just got access to it not too long ago, so we're probably going to check it out. I don't know what that was like at all.
Do you know what? It was good. Like, there's like lots of people have like really ripped into it because it was a female Doctor, and I don't agree with that at all. I think the character, we had the main villain, the Master, became a female, and everyone loved it. I think Jodie Whittaker's take on the Doctor, especially after Peter Capaldi as like the more like old man, she's suddenly like got a lot more energy. To me, she seemed a lot more of a continuation of the character from David Tennant and Matt Smith. The one thing which I felt let her seasons down, especially the first one, is the villains. The stories weren't as good, and the villains were almost non-existent, to the point, and I've only watched the series through when they were on, so my memory is a bit more hazy. But in the first 13th Doctor season, I think there is one or at most two villains that are actually villains. Every other episode, the villain is actually innocent in some way. And so there is like a lack of actual conflict. There's no one really to defeat. And without giving a spoiler, there is one episode where it felt that the Doctor was making a hard decision, but having to kill someone completely innocent, and that one didn't sit right with me. But anyway, Marty, were you going to say something? If not, we will bust a move on.
Yeah, I have a question and then a comment. The question was, I wanted to clarify that when you talk about the old man doctor being rescued all the time, was that Peter Capaldi?
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't watched that one. And I was just going to tell you that, I think my decision to stop watching the Matt Smith version had more to do with the scripts and the production value. I felt like when that started, the scripts weren't as good and the production value seemed to go down in quality based on the previous shows. And that was one of the reasons why I stopped watching. And my wife is a huge Doctor Who fan, and she agreed with me, and we both stopped watching.
Wow. To me, I felt the production values actually went up. I didn't think they'd actually gone down. So that's why I find that super interesting. Just because I thought like they did some really cool things. They had more elaborate stories and stuff at the time. But anyway, we will press on. I don't know if we've lost Tim just for a moment. But the next thing we will do, just because time is now getting away from us with this second discussion round. Nora in the comments says, I am a big fan of Geek Battle, although I only know roughly 4% of the characters. Don't worry. Like, Tim owned a comic book store. The rest of us are winging it. So, don't worry. Like, it's impossible to know everything. But you're always very welcome on the show. What was I going to say? Yeah, so let's go on to 20 questions. We're going to do 20 questions now. I'm going to think of, this week, in fact, I'm going to think of a film. I'm going to think of a film, and between you, you will have 20 questions to try to figure out what it is. Now, you're working together, but you're also competing, because if you want to interject, you'll go round in order, but if at any point you want to interject and take a guess at what it is to try to get a couple of bonus points, you can do so. But if you get it wrong, you are frozen out of the rest of the questions, okay? So, with this, I am thinking of a film. And let's see, Marty, what number were you? Just because your number's missing.
Oh, I was number 1.
Okay, so Marty, you get the first question.
Okay, is this film in the science fiction genre?
Difficult to answer, actually. Okay, so I'll give ever slightly more of an answer if I need to. Storyline-wise, you'd absolutely say yes. The way it would be categorized would be no.
Okay.
Okay, Tim.
Was this movie made before the year 2000?
Yes. Andrew.
Is this movie part of a franchise?
Yes.
It being a film and not a person kind of throws me, because we've always had a person.
We've done films, I think, once before, but
oh, have we?
Yeah, my bad. My bad for mixing it up.
No, that's fine. It's just messing me up. I'm just. Shoot. Is the hero of this film male?
Yes.
Does the hero of this film wear a hat?
If I'm wrong on this, I will apologise. To the best of my memory, no. At no point do I think they wear a hat. But by all means, screen cap me later, everyone, if I've got this wrong. Okay, Andrew.
Did this movie come out in the 1980s?
No.
No.
So I think that is actually 6 questions down.
Yeah. Does this film involve the military at all?
Ooh, I'm going to say yes, but once again, to give you a tiny bit of clarity on this, only ever so slightly. You know, you wouldn't to say yes and you go down that route would mislead you.
Let's try it. Was it made in the 1990s?
It was not.
Early.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Is this movie black and white?
Yes.
In some way?
Whoa. Does this movie involve robots?
It does not, no.
Okay.
I don't know if this was asked or not. Are there aliens in this movie?
No, there are not.
Has this movie been remade?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
This is a stumper. I'm stumped. Was the remake done in the 90s?
Let me just fact check this for you.
I don't think it's going to help.
Okay, hang on.
Black and white. It's part of the franchise.
1 second.
Male protagonist.
Yes, it was.
It was in the 90s?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Was it ever number one at the box office?
Was it ever number one at the box office? Okay, hang on 1
That's a
second.
bad question.
That's hard for me to know. Do you know what? Let me try and figure this out for you.
Part of a franchise. That's the part that's killing me. I'm like, oh god.
Do you know what? I perhaps will let you have another question here because I don't think I can give you an answer.
Okay.
I don't think so, but it's not. You know, if someone told me later it was, then I don't think I can find this info straight away. Let's have a quick look. I don't think so. But if you want another question, I'll allow it.
I can't even think of one that. No.
Well, it's Andrew's question, right?
Yeah, no, I can't. It's going to
Okay, Andrew, you go for it.
Is it a 1950s movie?
No, it is not.
Does this movie involve giant monsters?
No, it does not.
It would have been
What
awesome.
the hell is it?
Jeez. Does it involve ghosts?
No, it does not.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I have another idea.
Does it involve mad scientists?
No, it does not.
Does this movie take place in the Amazon?
No, it does not.
What the heck is it?
Does the main character wear a loincloth?
Not that you can see on screen, so I cannot be certain, but probably not.
Does this movie feature any of the Universal monsters?
No, it does not. I don't know how many questions there are, but if you've got a few more rapid fire ones.
I'm stumped, man. Stumped.
So you asked, Marty, you asked if it was sci-fi, right? And
yeah, and he did only kind of indirectly.
Right. Yeah. Is it a comedy?
No, it is not.
Okay.
Think of anything.
Any other ideas? I'm sure I'm fairly sure you've all heard of it.
Well, I hope so. Otherwise, we're just dabbing in the dark.
We are dabbing in the dark. Oh, God.
Does the lead character die in it?
Does the lead character die in it? Well, we're going into major spoilers here. Yes, they do.
It doesn't help.
Okay, I'll tell you what, you can have one more round of questions, just because we've got another
Okay.
show in 13 minutes, so...
Yeah, I can't. Man, the fact that it's black and white and a franchise, and it's not Universal Monsters, is just blowing my mind.
I have nothing. Sorry, Dave.
I can't come up with anything else previous to. Well, this one wasn't.
Is it set in space? No, it is
Who
not.
said that? Is the movie from the 1960s?
Yes, it is.
Okay. We found the decade.
Is it British?
No, it is not. Technically, I should say there's one question left for Tim.
I know, but I feel defeated at this point. So you said they were killed at the very end. Since I only have one question left, can I just guess?
Yeah, of course. You can all
And
get...
I know the movie that I'm guessing was made in the 80s and not the 90s. I don't know if it's a remake, and it's not part of a franchise. But is it They Live?
Ah, it is not, I'm afraid. It is not.
All right, I'm done.
Okay, Andrew, Marty, do you want us to take a stab at a guess?
Gosh, I can't think. Anything.
Or the world?
You guessing War of the Worlds?
That's color, though.
Yeah.
Incorrect. Marty, do you want to stab in the dark?
I got nothing. Everything I think of got shot down, so I got nothing.
Okay, is you giving up?
Yeah, first out of our misery.
Okay,
I'm giving.
I'm gonna give you as many clues as I can to try to help you out here and see if you can pop up with it.
Okay.
So, with what happens in it, you know, there is definitely sci-fi elements, certainly, but it's a horror film. What you didn't ask, you asked if there were robots. You asked if there were aliens. If you think back to our conversation from the start of the show, I said that, you know, if there was, like how you might have Pride and Prejudice that's suddenly taken over by zombies, if you'd gone and asked zombies, it may have given it to you.
Oh.
Yeah, what is it?
Night of the Living Dead.
It is Night of the Living Dead. Night of the Living Dead.
I
So,
didn't think
reanimated corpses, which, as they explain in it, is something to do with radiation from Venus. So it's a bit sci-fi. So it's it's not fantasy, but like it's absolutely a horror film. But yeah, you asked every decade, 50s, 80s, 90s, so on and so forth. But yeah, Night of the Living Dead. Do you know what, guys? That has brought us to the end of our show, and I would have had one more. I would have had one. We've like literally got another show in 9 minutes, so we'll wrap this up here. But premonition came true. Tim, with 18 points, you are this week's Geek of the Week. So congratulations.
Definitely a geek.
Yeah. Okay, so let's quickly find out where we can find everyone on social media. Andrew, where can the people find you?
Nowhere, can't.
Okay, Marty, where can the people find you?
At What Would Jesus Glue on Instagram, and I'm going to be on the next show if I'm able to run and get some food real quick.
Yeah, go for it. Of course you can. Tim, where can the people find you?
Tim David on Facebook, The Real Tim David on Instagram, and every week on Wednesday, the Wham Bam Improv Jam hosted by Second City Los Angeles. Rob Kirby and I are the current hosts. So come and check us out every Wednesday. David, it would be so late for you. It would be 1 in the morning.
Yeah.
What time is it Pacific?
It is 5 p.m. Pacific.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so Wham Bam Improv Jam.
Okay, with that, my name is David Pstansky. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at David Pstansky. Guys, if you haven't done so, please smash the subscribe button on youtube.com/Extreme Improv. The more subscribers, the more YouTube will push out the shows to be discovered by randomers. And also go over to extremes.tv. There are tons of geek-related articles, geek-related podcasts, and geek-related content. So you can find all kinds of movie, video game, collectibles kind of stuff on there. So go and check that out as well. But from me, from everyone else, in a minute we will have Extreme Improv Extremed. But stay safe, always stay extreme.
I will be on that show.
And
I'll
ciao
see you
for
there, Marty. Hey,
now.
David, are you sending out a link for that one?
It's this exact link.